Hello, race fans, and welcome to the Coast to Coast Racing League and the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we are about to kick off another exciting night of Thursday Night Thunder here on the broadcast from Lima Land as we have the FTM and Venom Racing small block modifieds coming up first here tonight. Of course, looking back at last week, it was Anthony Morano able to pick up the victory as he swept Thursday Night Thunder last week. He comes in as the small block points leader this week. Moving into that with his win, second is Brian Dickens, also with one win this winter season. Samuel Bachman in third, Trevor Giroux in fourth, and Clay Christopherson in fifth, as he has also picked up a victory here during this winter session as we have cars out on the track, including that 32 of Anthony Morano. Also out there is Justin Hazlett, as we'll put up those best times here during this practice session. Hazlett atop the charts, Wheeler second, Christopherson third, Morano fourth, Moore fifth fastest here. As it looks like we've got 30 cars here unloaded. We'll see how many make it out onto the track. So a good group of cars here. Of course, tonight on Thursday Night Thunder, we've got small block modifieds, big block modifieds, and of course, pro dirt late models to round out our evening. Of course, thank you to our Thursday night sponsors, including FTM and Venom Racing, Atlantic Management Resources, and the Dirt Track Bank, and Friday Night Lights. And as always, thank you to everyone tuning in here tonight. Hoping Shaggy feels better soon, as he's normally part of the coverage here on Thursday night. So all three Thursday night races here tonight coming from Lima Land, as Butch Baker's making his way around track. Of course, Dean Reynolds out there as he pulls in now. Justin Hazlett continues. He's turned almost 90 laps here during this practice session. Plenty of fun racing action coming here tonight for Thursday. As mentioned, Anthony Morano was able to dominate last week. Looking to see if he can do it again tonight, as we're just moments away from getting the night started here with the small block modifieds from Lima Land. As it continues to just be Justin Hazlett out there on the track. Good group of cars here, as our practice session is now finishing up. And that will move us on to our heat racing action. As actually we will kick off with some qualifying action here from Lima Land. Cars get ready to get out onto the track here, including Randall Dixon out there on the track. That's him in that 011 car. Trevor Giroux, of course, in his 75 machine out there as well. We'll put up those times over to the left as they complete their laps. Harold Klump out there as well in the 2 machine. As we said, possibly 30 cars here tonight. Isaac Salas, of course, he's always someone to be reckoned with on Thursday Night Thunder here in the modifieds and the pro late models. Clay Christopherson, of course, one of our winners already, as Schatzer will shoot to the top of the charts with a 13-12. Rayom right behind him, Vitali, and Giroux now down to 5th as Bachman will jump to the top of the charts. Good lap for Bachman. Isaac Salas, 2nd fastest now. Kelly Wheeler making his first lap out on the track in that 11 machine as we bounce around here to all the cars out on the track as Bachman will hold on to that top spot. Dylan Kinsey, a good lap there in the 6:39. He'll move up to 4th fastest. Jeff Barker, our admin tonight, he's 17th fastest, as now we'll watch Brian Dickens make his way around the track as Wheeler will claim the top spot now. Good lap by Kelly Wheeler, a 13:07. As Dickens and Michael Farmer, the final 2 cars out here on the track to make their qualifying run. Farmer will end up 22nd, and Dickens will be 20th. And quick time will go to Kelly Wheeler, 13:08, his fast time here tonight. And just like that, the qualifying session is done, and we'll move on to our heat racing action now. So as they line up out on the track, we'll take a look at that starting grid. It's going to be Mike Wida on the pole in that 81 machine. Clay Christopherson in the 51 to his outside. Row number 2, it's Dylan Kinsey next to Kelly Wheeler. 5th, Dean Reynolds alongside Randy Shreves. Michael Fasaccio in 7th and Jake Henry in the 8th position. Looks like Jake Henry may not be gridding here. We'll find out as we'll get ready to roll to the start here. 8 laps, of course, make up our heat races here in the Coast to Coast Racing League. So 2 by 2, they are lined up, ready to go here. First heat race of the night. Wida and Christopherson getting ready to get a set here at this very wide Lima Land Speedway. Green flag waves. Down to the inside of that 636. Of course, the tires down there. It looks like he'll jump those. He'll fall back a couple positions. As Kinsey will fall back to 5th up front. It's still Wida and Christopherson side by side for the lead there. You got the 51 of Christopherson middle line. The 81 of Wida to the outside. Kelly Wheeler, who we saw as quick time, he's trying to pick his way up through the field. He's up to 3rd now. Dean Reynolds, Dylan Kinsey behind them now as things get sorted out here. Coming to 5 to go this time by. Christopherson there in 2nd, trying to chase down Wida up ahead. Of course, momentum so important for these small block modifieds. Christopherson will slide up in front. Wida will fall to 2nd now as they'll trade positions up front. Christopherson out to the outside now, able to hold on. 3 laps to go here in heat race number 1. Two laps to go, and Christopherson has separated from the field. Wida has fallen into that 2nd spot. Wheeler is still trying to work that inside of that 81 machine, as that is a tough pass to make here right now. Is on the final lap out of turn number 4. The winner is going to be Christopherson. 2nd, Wida. 3rd, Wheeler. Reynolds 4th, Kinsey in 5th. And just like that, Christopherson will win heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 is going to line up like this. It's Glenn Sharp on the pole alongside Trevor Giroux. Michael Vitali in 3rd alongside Samuel Bachman, who was fast in our qualifying session. Jeff Barker 5th next to Michael Farmer. 7th, Brian Moore Sr. alongside Bud Mullinox. Looks like Bud may not be gridding here. As they get lined up here on the front stretch, ready to go. It's going to be 8 more laps of racing action from Limaland. So Sharp and Giroux will take us to green. That 9975 machine out front. Green flag wave, so we're back to racing action here in heat race number 2. Clean through 1 and 2 here as we're almost 3 wide there for a second for a moment. It's going to be the 213 of Vitali coming out into that 3rd spot as they complete lap number 1 as Giroux and Sharp still side by side up front. Barker in that 513 in the back there to the inside looking to make his way up through. As they still race side by side up ahead of him. Of course, here's the view from Jeff Barker using that inside line as Trevor Giroux will take over the lead. As now he separates, Vitali will take over second. Now that 99 of Sharp has fallen back into third, and he's got Samuel Bachman all over the back of him. 4 laps to go this time by Trevor Giroux in the catbird seat up front. Up 1 spot. Oh, as he gets into the wall there, see if that opens the door for Vitali. Able to close to the bumper, but no move to make as of now as 3 to go this time by. Vitali all over the back of that 75 as we see sparks of scraping that wall again that time by. It's going to be 2 laps to go this time by. Bachman has made a move on Sharp. See if he's able to make it stick. He is. He'll move into 3rd as now white flag waves this time by for Trevor Giroux. Vitali following in his tracks down the backstretch for the final time here in heat race number 2. Giroux down to the inside. Vitali to the outside. It will be Giroux, your winner, heat race number 2. Vitali 2nd, Bachman 3rd, Sharp 4th, Moore in 5th. Now time for heat race number 3. It's going to be Joseph Massow alongside Randall Dixon, row number 1. Scott Rayome alongside Isaac Salas in row number 2. Butch Baker in 5th next to Thomas Hazlitt. And then Mason Heine in the 7th position. So 8 more laps here for heat race number 3. It's going to be Massow and Dixon, row number 1. Salas, Rayome, Hazlitt, Baker, and running out the field will be green flag waves back to racing. Oh, the 4 of Rayome will hit that inside tire. He's able to keep it off the other cars. There's contact up front. Dixon to the inside of Massow. Isaac Salas likes what he sees from that 3rd position as he'll jump to the inside, trying to make a move for the lead. They'll be side by side down the backstretch as Isaac will try to complete the pass in turns 3 and 4. Lap goes to Isaac Salas out front. Dixon battling back strong on that inside line. Salas, Dixon, Massow up front, dominating here as they've separated with Baker in that 4th spot. Group of 3 behind them. Front 4 nose to tail. Baker down to the inside through 3 and 4. Isaac Salas, who we've seen dominate Thursday Night Thunders before, off to a great start here in heat race number 3 as he continues to lead. Closest battle on the track, you have to go back to the back 3 cars here. You've got Haney, Hazlitt, and Rayome back here battling for that position. As we've got 2 laps to go up front, Isaac Salas continues to lead. final lap for Isaac Salas. Down the back stretch through 3 and 4. It's going to be the 5 of Isaac Salas, Dixon second, Massow third, Baker fourth, Hazlitt in fifth. And now time for our fourth and final heat race here for the small block modifieds. It's Justin Hazlitt up front alongside Harold Klump. Anthony Morano in third next to Kurt Schatzer. Brian Dickens fifth next to John Dobias. And Joseph Grandy will round out the field here in our fourth and final heat race for the small block modifieds. Looks like we're waiting. There's Hazlitt. Looks like we're still waiting for Joseph Grandy to grid. We'll see if he makes it out there in time. So 2x2, we're ready to go here from Lima Land, the final heat race of the evening. Hazlitt Klump out front. Just like that, green flag waves. 8 more laps here for our fourth and final heat race for the small block modifieds. Hazlitt holding on out front as he's got 2 cars, including Anthony Morano to his inside, the 2 of Klump behind him. Schatzer not far behind as Anthony Morano will pull slightly ahead there down the backstretch. 24 of Hazlitt will hold on to second, the 2 of Klump now in that third spot. So Anthony Morano picking up right where he left off last Thursday night here in the small blocks. Qualified well. Qualified fourth. Now he's leading in his heat race here a couple laps into this one. Quickly makes work and moves up into that point spot. Great battle behind him with that 2 of Klump and the 27 of Hazlitt. They battle back and forth for that second spot. That 218 machine of Kurt Schatzer watching from behind. As you can see up ahead, that battle for second position. Riding along, you can see the hands there of Kurt Schatzer as he makes his way around. As you can see, the field stretched out behind these front 4. Anthony Morano continues to lead as now Hazlitt has taken control of that second position. Schatzer now inching closer and closer to Klump for third. As we'll have white flag this time by. Schatzer looking to gain a spot, which a spot gained in a heat race is 4 spots for your starting spot. It's out of turn number 4 will be Anthony Morano, your winner. Hazlitt second, Schatzer third, Klump fourth, Dickens in fifth. So your winners, Christopherson, Giroux, Salas, and Morano, will be your front 4 for that feature event. But before we get there, we've got tonight's B main. Front row, it's going to be Dylan Kinsey alongside Brian Moore Sr. Thomas Hazlitt alongside Brian Dickens in row number 2. Row number 3, it's Randy Shreves next to Michael Farmer. 7th will be Scott Rayome next to John Tobias. Michael Frisaccio in 9th, and Jeff Barker rounding out the top 10. 11th, Mason Haney next to Joseph Grandy. 13th, Jake Henry alongside Bud Mullinox, which Grandy, Henry, and Mullinox, of course, still not gridding, so they will not be a part of this B main event. So 2x2 will get ready to go. 10 laps will make up this B main tonight before our 30-lap feature event. Two by two, we get ready to go here. 10 more laps of racing action at Lima Land. Green flag waves. It's Kinsey Moore out front. Shreves making a move on the inside there in the 56 machine. As 639 of Kinsey's able to clear contact there with Shreves, and it looks like Moore for a moment. Both will keep going as now there's more contact as they'll go around. Kinsey will hold on out front. Hazlitt's moved into the second spot. Scott Rayome quickly moving up 4 spots. He's now up into third. As it's nose to tail for the front 3. You've got to go back to this battle for 4th and 5th between Dickens and Fursaccio. Haney watching on from the 89 car. Still side-by-side racing action. Kinsey's been able to pull away here quickly down to 5 laps to go. Hazlitt in second, Rayome in third, Dickens in fourth now, just barely, as there's contact made there. Michael Facio will go around. Haney will now move up into fourth. Up front, it's still Dylan Kinsey. He's led all 8 laps this time by. As coming to the white flag next time by, Dylan Kinsey will lead this one from start to finish if he's able to hold on for one more lap. Down the back stretch, the B main coming to an end. It will be Dylan Kinsey your winner. Hazlitt, Rayome, Haney, Dickens your top 5. And just like that, we are ready and set for tonight's feature event. Of course, we'll have a warm-up session here starting in a moment, which will send us to a quick break. We'll be right back with tonight's small block modified feature event. welcome back to Lima Land as we get ready for racing action here in tonight's small block modified feature event. Cars are on the track getting ready to go here for some more exciting small block modified racing action. Of course, we had Christopherson, Giroux, Salas, and Murano, your 4 heat winners. Kinsey was able to pick up a B main victory here tonight, as we are sure to see some great racing action here at 30 laps coming up here shortly from Lima Land, as our warm-up session is finishing up now. And just like that, we'll line them up. It's going to be Clay Christopherson on the pole, Trevor Giroux to his right in row number 1. Row number 2, it's Isaac Salas alongside Anthony Murano. Mike Wida in 5th alongside Michael Vitale. Randall Dixon in 7th alongside Justin Haslett. Kelly Wheeler in 9th and Samuel Bachman in 10th. Joseph Massau in 11th alongside Kurt Schatzer in the 12th position. 13th, Dean Reynolds next to Glenn Sharp. Butch Baker in 15th next to Harold Klump. Dylan Kinsey, our B main winner, alongside Thomas Haslett in 18th. Scott Rayome in 19th alongside Mason Haney. Brian Dickens in 21st next to Jeffrey Barker. Michael Vecchio in 23rd next to Michael Farmer will round out the field. So just like that, we're ready to go. It's going to be the 51 of Christopherson, Giroux in 2nd, Anthony Murano, and Isaac Salas in the row behind them. So already some wins here in this small block modified winner session towards the front of this pack. But as we know here on the Coast to Coast Racing League, anything can happen. 2x2, they get ready to go. Green flag waves, we're feature racing action from here at Lima Land. 2x2 up front, still the 51. Oh, it's down to the inside. Looks like that was Kelly Wheeler, and the caution flag will come out. We'll take a look. Kelly Wheeler and Dean Reynolds involved in this one. So Kelly Wheeler in the 110. We'll see him dive down to the inside there. That was Isaac Salas. There's the contact and the caution. So something happened to Isaac Salas as well. He will be saved by the resetting of the field as he turned hard left into that inside tire. As Dean Reynolds and Kelly Wheeler will fall to the back of the pack now with the caution coming out. Two by two, green flag waves. Christopherson jumps out front. Giroux, Isaac Salas, and Murano battle for the second position behind him. More racing action behind him with Wida and Vitale. As always, getting these small block modifieds up to speed and keeping that speed as high as possible, the key here to victory. Caution flag waves. Looks like Thomas Haslett was involved. Michael Farmer, Dean Reynolds again, and Kelly Wheeler again. So not the start they were looking for. So Clay Christopherson, Trevor Giroux, Isaac Salas, Anthony Morano, your front four still. 2 front rows remain as is. Everything behind them has shaken up here. Only 4 laps into this 30-lap feature event as of yet. Christopherson able to clear out front. They continue to do battle behind him. A big group of cars here as we'll watch from up over ahead. See Giroux out to the outside, Salas there in the middle. He's followed by Anthony Morano. The 7 of Bachman there at the back. He's looking to the inside. Great racing action here up in the front as now Isaac Salas has taken over that second position. Vital under attack from Anthony Morano. Christopherson still holding on to that lead. Trevor Giroux, Isaac Salas, though, side by side behind him, and the caution flag comes out again. This is our 3rd caution of the night. It looks like Butch Baker and Dean Reynolds involved in this one. Of course, Butch Baker there in that 79 machine. Dean Reynolds right behind him. We'll see what happens. Oh, they stack up in front of him. And the accordion effect in full effect as Barker will join into that calamity at the end. So Clay Christopherson continues to lead. Started on the pole with his Heat 1 victory. There's Baker heading back out onto the track. Here we go, green flag waves. Morano, a strong move there on the inside of Isaac Salas as those tires will come up and bite you. That'll shake things up. Christopherson able to clear them easily. Giroux now in control of that 2nd spot. Morano looking to the inside of Isaac Salas. 3 wide there. That's for the 5th position. Dixon able to hold off Bachman and Vital not so far. As they make a sandwich of the 0-11 of Dixon. Christopherson continues to lead. Giroux, though, using that outside line, trying to chip away that lead just about 0.2 of a second right now. As he'll close to the bumper, look to the inside now, as now Christopherson jumps to the outside. 18 laps to go now as the front 3 nose to tail out front, and that lead has dissipated with Giroux all over the back of that 51 machine. caution flag comes out. This one, it looks like it's Justin Hazlitt, as he's in that 27 machine. Oh, and the 2 of Klump will just slide up, nowhere for him to go. Unfortunate spot and time there. Is 4th caution of the night. We've got 16 laps to go when we get back to green flag racing action here. So single file restart here. 16 laps to go. Christopherson out front. Green flag waves. Giroux second. Isaac Salas, Anthony Morano, Dixon make up the front 5. Single file up front. You got to go back to Bachman in the 6th spot. Trying to make something on that inside line, as now we've got single file racing action here, trying to count down those laps to the finish. Giroux, Morano, and Salas battling there for the 2nd position on back to 4th. And as we look back, some great racing action back here. 3 wide action there. Kinsey trying to move his way up. But up front, it's still Clay Christopherson, Trevor Giroux, Isaac Salas, Anthony Morano, your front 4. Is now Isaac Salas moves into a podium position. Fifth caution of the night waves. It looks like it is. Looks like Mason Haney may have had an issue here. Oh, and there it is. Looks like Kinsey gets into the back of him there, takes him around. And just like that, we're down to single digits. 7 laps to go here in our small block modified. What are you guys doing? No. Okay. Do you think that's what we should be doing right now? Okay, come on. So 7 laps to go when this one goes back to green. Green flag waves, back to racing action. Christopherson out front. Giroux into the wall there on the outside. See if that opens the door for Morano and Salas behind them. Salas, a big move there as he'll stay in front of Morano. Now Bachman in the 7 machine trying to look to the inside as he wants to enter the top 4. It's go time from Lima Land here as we're down to 5 laps to go this time by. Bachman continues to use that inside line. The 4 cars up ahead of him, all up against that outside wall. As Christopherson continues to lead, he's led this from start to lap 25 here, as now he's only got 4 laps to go. Some separation for Christopherson there on Giraud now as he makes his way around. Of course, Christopherson already has 1 win, 2 top 10s this winter session. Giraud sits right ahead of him in points. As time is running out, 1 more lap here for the 51 of Christopherson out front, Giraud. And now it's Salas still holding on to that 3rd spot. Out of turn number 4, it's the 51. It's Christopherson, your winner in the small block modified. Giraud 2nd, Salas 3rd, Morano 4th, Bachman in 5th. Just like that, we'll speak with our top 3 finishers here from Lima Land with the small block modifieds. Of course, coming up next, we have more racing action here from Lima Land as it's the Atlantic Management Resources big block modifieds. As we'll take a look at the feature results here from Lima Land. And now joining us up in the booth is going to be our 3rd place finisher. It's Isaac Salas. Isaac, you had to work back there in that group of the top 5 all night long. Saw you searching for something. Walk us through your race to a 3rd place finish.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, Trevor and I were sitting there battling, and Anthony and I were also battling. So it was a little bit of, you know, try to play some offense and try to also play some defense at the same time. So it made it pretty hard, made it pretty difficult on me to keep it there in 3rd, and it was fun. It did kind of trend towards just top being where you wanted to be at, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was happy to be here.
When you're in a battle like that, especially here in the small block modifieds, and momentum is so key, how hard is it to try to move around but also not give up a position when you try to make up a position?
Oh, it's really difficult with how fast that top 10 was for sure anymore. And I mean, any week it's super hard to do this anymore. But especially when you have a track like that where it's very, the momentum's kind of around the top, and that's the fastest way. And um, you can try. All you're kind of hoping for a mistake at the same time, or a battle like when Clay and Trevor were kind of throwing haymakers at each other for a second there. I was like basically right there, and it was cool. It was a lot of fun, but made it pretty damn difficult.
Well, a good start with a podium finish here on Thursday Night Thunder. Who are those people and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I appreciate it, Travis. It's good to see you back. So big shout out to you for broadcasting. But other than that, just like thanks to Venom Racing, it's good to see Mr. Butchie back out. Congrats to Trevor on P2. So it's always good to get the podium with him. Dean the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs, RSN Trackside, Mission 22, Top Notch Trucking, Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, Coast to Coast, Mom, Dad, Gramps for watching, Kelser for watching. And yeah, I think that's it. Good win to Mr. Clay.
Well, good run and good start to the night, Isaac. We'll see you here shortly in the big blocks.
Awesome. Thank you.
It's Isaac Salas, our 3rd place finisher tonight. Now coming home 2nd is the 75 of Trevor Giraud. Trevor, you sat there in that 2nd position most of the night trying to trace down Clay. What was the difference and what prevented you from getting up to him and being able to make a move?
Uh, Honestly, I mean, I threw a slider on him that one time, and it just when you don't have as much momentum in these 358s like you do the big blocks, it's just so easy for the guy to just cross you up and take the lead back. But I think honestly the restarts, like really didn't want to see that caution with like 7 to go because he was getting good jumps. And then it just took me a few laps to run him down. And then that last caution, I thought I got a good restart, but I was just got out of my rhythm. I was hitting the wall and couldn't get back up to him because if I did get up to him, I was gonna definitely throw a Hail Mary to go for the win. But he did a good job running the top, pretty much mistake free from what I saw. So I will definitely take a second tonight and a third for Isaac there, another Venom driver. So.
We saw at one point you were able to close up on Clay and get right to his bumper. With the small blocks, is it just this is what it is with the small blocks? Is there any frustrations where you make up that momentum, but it's very quickly just neutralized when you get up behind the car in front of you?
Yeah, and honestly, it is frustrating because, like you said, you get up to the guy and then you really like you want to throw a slider, but you know that your motor's gonna bog down so much to the point where you're losing so much momentum on exit to the point where like when I threw that slider, like my car bogged down so much it took Clay literally nothing to just cut down and take over the lead again. So it's just one of those things. It's just I guess it's the way these cars are. I kind of wish they would kind of put a little more power into them. I think kind of like real life, but I mean that's just I mean some drivers can make it work. I mean it's Limeland's also just one of those tracks. It's super banked, so you lose a lot of your momentum throwing sliders and running the bottom. I mean I should have tried throwing it in the middle instead. Maybe that would have worked, but or keeping the car straighter, one of the two. But yeah, I mean definitely had a really good car tonight. I felt like we had a car that could win tonight, and felt fast. And another good run for Venom here. We'll definitely take a second and a third. And so yeah, good run overall.
Well, good run to second place. Is there anybody else or any sponsors you want to give a shout out to here in the small block?
Yeah, I gotta give a shout out to all my guys at Venom. Thank just want to thank Full Throttle Motorsports as well for going half on this deal to keep this stuff broadcasted, and thank Lambton Diesel Specialists, RSN Trackside, Big Tim Race Wraps, Dean Reynolds of the Super Dirt Car Series. He's a great dude, and just want to tell Dino that I apologize for missing some races here. I know he sponsors the car here, so I don't want to miss too much. But I had some stuff come up, and I was sick there for a bit, so I apologize for that, Dino. Yeah, like I said, thank all the guys at Venom, you for doing this, Travis. Hopefully, talking to you again these next two races. So, thank you guys. Thank everyone at C2C here, and looking forward to the next year.
Well, great start to your night, Trevor. We look forward to talking to you again here soon.
Thanks, Travis.
That's Trevor Giroux, your second place finisher tonight. And now your winner, the first multiple winner of the winter session here in the small block modifieds, it's Clay Christopherson. Clay, you led it from start to finish there. Walk us through that 30-lap feature win.
I felt really comfortable on the bottom, so I ran there, and then I heard Trevor quite a bit, but I knew I was being consistent, so I kind of stayed down there as long as I could, and then I started really hearing him, so I had to go up and shut the door when I knew I'd get a drive off, and the restarts really helped being able to still run that bottom. It took a good 3 or 4 laps to get wound up on the top.
We were talking about that part of the race when Trevor was able to make up some ground on you, and then you moved up in the nick of time to kind of block his run and get up there. With the small block modifieds, knowing that if you're able to go up and block any momentum at any point, that obviously puts you in the best position. Are you thinking that through with these cars, knowing that it not only prevents them from passing you, but a lot of times it's even hard to make a move on a small block modified?
Yeah, especially on entry. I knew by doing that he wouldn't be as quick on exit coming out of 4. So, but no, it was a really fun race with him. And then when they both did the slide job at the same time, I managed to squeeze it between them. But that was probably the coolest moment of the night so far.
Well, now we move on to the big block modifieds. What's it gonna take to double up and win in another modified here on Thursday Night Thunder?
I don't know. I got the same car. I just put fuel in it. I'm still in the 358, so we'll see what happens.
Sounds good. Who are those folks and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to, Clay?
I want to thank you guys for putting this all on, and then FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and big block setups.
Well, congratulations on another win, your second small block modified win of the season, and we look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you.
That's Clay Christopherson. You're a winner here on the small block modifieds. With that, we will wrap up the small block modifieds as Clay Christopherson, Trevor Giroux, Isaac Salas, Anthony Morano, Samuel Bachman, your top 5 here from Limaland. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have big block modifieds right here in Ohio at Limaland.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion, trying to be a bit of a hiatus. So let's get.
Tonight we talked about it.
What? Yeah, working remote. It doesn't matter what's going on outside. I always work. Well, then I can't work.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
And welcome back to Lima Land here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we have the big block modifieds looking at tonight. Atop the point standings, our small block winner, Clay Christopherson, our big block modified point standings leader coming in here tonight. He has 1 win. Behind him, Anthony Morano, last week's winner. Butch Baker, 3rd. Trevor Giroux tied for 3rd. And in 5th, Michael Vitale. Cars have been out on the track here. Samuel Bachman still making laps out here as well, as it looks like they're just waiting to go. Some donuts here out on the track as we will get ready for this next edition of the Big Block Modifieds. As we'll see how they sort out. Last week it was Anthony Morano able to sweep Thursday Night Thunder. Clay Christopherson starting off the night with the small block modified. See if he can go. As qualifying session getting underway here, cars out onto the track. We'll put those times over to the left as they come in. Brian Moore Sr. out there, Glenn Sharp as well. There's Anthony Morano who jumps to the top of the charts. Klump 2nd, Farmer 3rd is now Dean Reynolds. Good lap from Dino there as he shoots to the top of the charts. Facio now up towards the top with a 12:49. Good lap for him. Of course, this is the Atlantic Management Resources Big Block Modifieds. Glenn Sharp will finish up his time. There's Michael Farmer. Randall Dixon out there as well now. Dylan Kinsey. He was fast in the small block. See what he can do here tonight. Butch Baker out there on the track as well, as he'll be the last car for a time. Kinsey up towards the top, or at the top of the charts, I should say, at 12:47. And that will wrap it up. Dylan Kinsey going to be the quick time here tonight. And just like that, we quickly move on to heat race number 1. They're going to line up like this. It's Glenn Sharp on the pole next to Harold Klump. Dean Reynolds 3rd next to Dylan Kinsey. Randall Dixon 5th. Michael Farmer 6th. And John Tobias in the 7th position. Green flag waves. We're back to racing action here in heat race number 1. It's Glenn Sharp alongside Dean Reynolds up front. So Dean Reynolds next to Sharp. They'll stay side by side. Kinsey there on the inside as he's able to clear Clump. Now he'll make a move. It's 3 wide for the lead. It will be Dean Reynolds holding on there on the exit of turn number 2, but Kinsey will continue his charge through 3 and 4. Dean Reynolds holds on as we've got 5 laps to go. Sharp continues to lead. Kinsey Clump there behind him. 4th position is Dixon. Still side by side. Great racing action up front. Coming to the white flag this time by. It will be Sharp at the line. He's able to hold off Kinsey at least for now. This will be the pole starting position in our 30-lap feature event coming up shortly, as it will be Sharp at the line. Kinsey 2nd, Dixon 3rd, Clump 4th, Farmer in 5th. What are we doing, buddy? No, bud. I've got like an hour and a half left, bud. You gotta go to sleep. I don't want you to get in trouble, okay? Go lay down, be good. I'm down here. No, everyone's awake still in the house. Heat race number 3, it's going to be Michael Vitale, or I'm sorry, heat race number 2, it's going to be Michael Vitale alongside Jeff Barker. Anthony Morano by Michael Vasillo. Scott Rayome next to Randy Shreves, and Butch Baker rounding out the field. So 8 more laps of racing action here at Lima Land. Barker, Vitale, the front row. Anthony Morano in 3rd to the inside of row number 2. Green flag waves back to racing action here at Lima Land. It's Vitale in the middle. There is Morano quickly down to the inside of Barker for the 2nd position behind him. Great racing action here throughout. Really, the front 6 cars all doing battle in some shape or form, as it's been Vitale out front, able to hold on to that lead thus far. Things have quieted down up front. Vitale continues to lead. Barker's holding off Morano for now. Rayome has moved up into that 4th position. Vasillo in 5th will round out your top 5. 2 laps to go this time by. As up front, they'll stay nose to tail here. White flag will wave. Morano now looking to the inside of Barker for the 2nd position here through 1 and 2. That's 4 spots from where you will start in that feature event if you're able to pick up a spot. It's Vitale up front. Barker, Morano, Rayome, Shreves, your top 5 here in heat race number 2. Just like that, we'll move on to heat race number 3. It's going to be Brian Moore next to Trevor Giroux. Samuel Bachman alongside Isaac Salas, Clay Christopherson in 5th, and Bob DeGood in 6th. Heat race number 3 here has our podium finishers from the small block modified race. Some fast cars here for sure. Some fast cars here for this 8-lap feature event. So 2 by 2 we get ready to go. More Giroux on that front row here, 8 laps for our heat victory. Winner will start 3rd in our 30-lap feature event, put them in a prime position to battle for a victory here in the Big Block Modified tonight. As that pace car will pull off, and we'll get ready for racing action. Green flag waves. Trevor Giroux out front quickly here. Moore will fall into that 2nd spot. Isaac Salas to the outside 7 of Bachman there. As Giroux will have that middle line, Bachman all the way down to the inside. Of course, our podium finishers all up front here, with Clay Christopherson running in 6th. He was our winner in the big block. Trevor Giroux came up 1 spot short, as he's looking to claim a victory here in the big block tonight. Big blocks have been won so far. Weeks 1 and 2 and 3 go to Isaac Salas, Clay Christopherson, and Anthony Morano. So this is a competitive heat race here for sure, as Trevor Giroux trying to hold off Isaac Salas, coming to 2 laps to go this time by. Nothing doing now, as we've got the cars spread out around this Lima Land Motorsports Park. White flag will wave this time by for heat race number 3. If Giroux is able to hold on, he'll be our first 2-time heat winner here on this Thursday Night Thunder. Out of turn number 4, heat race number 3 will go to Trevor Giroux, Isaac Salas 2nd, Moore 3rd, Bachman 4th, DeGood in 5th. And that will actually be the final heat race of the night here, as we will go to our warm-up session. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at that starting lineup for tonight's Big Block Modified feature event. Of course, the Big Block Modified is presented by Atlantic Management Resources here on Thursday Night Thunder, as you're watching the Coast to Coast Racing Network. And with that, welcome back to Lima Land Motorsports Park here in Ohio as we get ready for our Big Block Modifieds presented by Atlantic Management Resources 30-lap feature event. As we will take a look at that starting lineup. That starting lineup's going to look like this. It's Glenn Sharp on the pole alongside Michael Vitale, Trevor Giroux in third alongside Dylan Kinsey, Jeff Barker next to Isaac Salas in row number 3. Randall Dixon alongside Anthony Morano, and rounding out the top 10, it's Brian Moore Sr. alongside Harold Klump. Starting 11th, it's Scott Rayome next to Samuel Bachman. 13th, Michael Farmer next to Randy Shreves. Bob DeGood in 15th alongside John Tobias. Michael Vicello in the 17th position next to Clay Christopherson, Dean Reynolds in 19th, and rounding out the field is Butch Baker in 20th. So 30 laps will make up this feature event here on Coast to Coast Racing Network for the Big Block Modifieds presented by Atlantic Management Resources. Of course, stay tuned after this one. We've got the Pro Late Model Division here from Lima Land. Of course, that's presented by the Dirt Track Bank and Friday Night Lights. Green flag waves, Sharp, Vitale will get us started. Trevor Giroux quickly down to the inside. Kinsey in the middle of that pack. Behind them is the front 4 breakaway here on lap number 1. Well, Trevor Giroux will slide up the track. He'll keep control of it. It's going to be the 99 of Sharp leading lap number 1. Kinsey down to the inside of Giroux. Looks like Baker and Bob DeGood both off the track here early in this one. Unlike the small block modified, we're staying green here. 5 laps in, all green to start. Isaac Salas into the wall slightly. There's Giroux trying to use that outside line around Kinsey, as he's got the 213 of Vitale right behind him. Anthony Morano currently watching from the 5th position. Oh, there's contact made. 213 up into the wall as Isaac Salas will make a move to the inside. Great battle behind them with Barker and Rayome. That's a battle for the 6th position as they're side by side. Randall Dixon watching on. Shreves there as well. As very quickly, we're 11 laps into this Big Block Modified feature. All green thus far. Cars are getting separated around the track, as you can see wide angle here. You have to go back in the pack as the front 5 are single file up around. Oh, and Anthony Morano will go around. Caution flag waves. They got checked up. Morano goes around. And our first caution of the Big Black Modifieds. Clay Christopherson, our winner, he's back in the 14th position here during this one. Is out front, it's still the 75 of Trevor Giroux. So unlike the small block modifieds, which I believe at the same point had 4 cautions at this junction of the race, our first caution of the night comes in 13 laps in. So we'll get this sorted out here as they get lined up in the right spots. There's the pace car. Should be Trevor Giroux, Michael Vitale, Isaac Salas, Scott Rayome, and Jeff Barker, your top 5. There's some confusion in this one as we get lined back up. As there's the pace car. And we'll get moving now. So they're lined back up, getting ready back to go green here. Will be 16 laps to go in this Big Block Modified A main event. Green flag waves. Trevor Giroux out front. Isaac Salas behind him. That 213 of Vitale down to the inside. As the 4 of Rayome looking to get a podium finish here tonight. Trevor Giroux all the way up. Trying to hold on here. He came up 1 spot short in that small block modified. Held off Isaac Salas for second. Now trying to hold off Isaac Salas for the lead as we're past halfway. 14 laps to go. Front 4 have separated here, single file. You've got to go back to Jeff Barker down to the inside as he looks to the inside of Dickens. Or Dickens looks to the outside of Barker, however you want to look at it. Sam Bachman there in the 7 car from right behind Dixon. And as they talked about after that small block modified, that outside line's the preferred line here at Lima Land with the big block. So the front two have now broken away here with 10 laps to go, counting down. You've got to go back to that battle from 5th on back for racing action, and it is still heated back there. Anthony Morano's made his way back up to 10, as after being a part of that caution, trying to work his way back up. But out front, it's still Trevor Giroux. Isaac Salas right in his tracks, going to see what he can do. Isaac Salas slightly into the wall there. 6 laps to go this time by. Giroux moves down, trades it back with Isaac Salas. Now he'll take the lead. He's got it with 3 laps to go. Giroux still out there to the outside. As a power move by Isaac Salas, he's not only able to make the pass, but he's able to separate from Trevor. Put about 2 car lengths, a car length and a half there for a moment between them. As Giroux now trying to track down Isaac Salas here, coming to the white flag. White flag waves. Isaac Salas, Trevor Giroux, and Scott Rayome in the 3rd spot. Both the cars in front dive down to the inside. It'll be Isaac Salas, your winner. Trevor Giroux 2nd. Rayome in 3rd. As we'll talk to our top 3 finishers here, as we'll put up that final results for tonight's Big Block Modifieds presented by Atlantic Management Resources. First, we'll be joined by our 3rd place finisher, it's Scott Rayome. Finishes 3rd here tonight. Scott up 8 spots. Also the hard charger here tonight. Walk us through that race up to a 3rd place finish.
I mean, it was pretty chaotic out there, honestly. Dodged a couple of accidents there and managed to get up there. One of my better tracks. It actually felt better than the last race with the 358, but for some reason I just couldn't hit the top like those Isaac and Trevor were doing. Just felt really greasy up there for me for some reason. Usually I can run up there or run the bottom at this track, and just wasn't that. I don't think I had a 3rd place car, honestly, but I guess I'll take it.
Well, you were part of that pack really from 5th on back. Things got really heated up, and of course you started 11th, so you had to make your way through it. What was it like making your way up through? And then obviously once you got up front, things got sorted out and calmed down there, but you were trying to chase down those 2 cars up ahead.
I mean, a lot of it was just situational awareness is what I like to call it. You see something happen in front of you and just kind of just be smart about it and try to ride the brake a little bit, let things play out, and hopefully you pick the right gap to go through. And then once those 2 on the restart, I was fortunate enough to start on the outside where the the lane was and got around Michael Vitale there. And me and Mike, we race each other hard. We race each other clean all the time. So I knew I didn't really have to worry about him intentionally getting into me or anything like that. And of course, you can't think of a couple of better classier guys to finish third too, like Isaac and Trevor there. So I'll take a third. Like I was just telling the guys over in Discord, I didn't have a third place car, but there's a lot of times when I did have a third place car and I finished 13th. So I'll take the good with the bad.
No, exactly. A great finish, a great podium here tonight on Thursday Night Thunder. Who are those people and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to, Scott?
First and foremost, Full Throttle Motorsports, all those guys over there, got a little crazy there tonight. So, we're a team, but at the same time, a lot of us we're like family over there. So it's cool to have all those guys. We always try to work together, even when the bad happens. Then I got Dean at Super Dirt Car, DJ Sim Shop. He's always in my ear when he's not racing. Dalton Jr. Dylan Jr. He's one of my bigger supporters over there. So great to have him. Gunner at Swan Speed Shop for all of our open sets, Sam Akonda sets. And also I got a shout out to my landlord, Jack Howell, is watching tonight. He's a big supporter of dirt racing, and he messaged me earlier and wanted to know if I was racing tonight. So I sent him the link. So he was out there watching, cheering me on, shooting me text messages. So it's pretty cool to have him out there too.
Awesome. Well, great run tonight, Scott, and we look forward to talking to you again here soon.
Thanks, man.
That's Scott Rayom, third place finisher here tonight. To the second place, Trevor Giroux. We'll talk to Trevor again here. Trevor, different car, same result. You're able to hold off Isaac in that small block. Just too much Isaac Salas there at the end of this big block.
Yeah, I mean, he's hard to hold off in anything, but we'll definitely take second here. Yeah, honestly, I just can't run the top as good as some of these guys, especially Isaac's, and just losing a lot of momentum, a lot of my speed on entry there. Just can't enter. Really, what it comes down to, I just don't have the skill to enter high enough and the entry of the corners without hitting the wall. So yeah, something got to work on, learn something every time we get in the car. But we'll definitely take double podiums here.
Yeah, we saw in the small block that outside line was the preferred line there, and of course you come into the big block with it. When you have Isaac following you around there for as many laps as he did, is that something where you're just kind of waiting for him to dive down to the bottom and make that move on you?
Pretty much. I mean, I had a little gap there before the caution, but I think even if the caution didn't come out and we ran green the rest of the race, I think there was enough time in the race for him to even run me down and throw a slider. And then once he's in front of you, it's just follow him and see if you can stay with him. But I mean, at that point we had like 3 to go or whatever it was. And obviously he's my teammate. I didn't want to race him too hard. I was pretty content with double podiums here tonight. We'll move on to the Pro Late model and go for triple podium here.
I was going to say, we've seen you run really well in the late model the last year or so. What's it going to take to improve one spot and pick up a win in that late model?
Well, I mean, late models are definitely my car. I mean, and obviously I don't want to sound cocky or nothing. It's just one of the cars I have more laps in a late model than I do anything else by far. So, I mean, I expect a lot of myself every time I get in these cars. So, I mean, we usually don't have too big of fields, unfortunately, in the Pro Late. So, I mean, I think it's just going to take, you start up front and rip the lip and keep it out front. I mean, you saw I kind of got aggressive there on the start of the big block race, and that's, something that I'm, trying to switch up with my driving style, trying to just, I'm not out to wreck guys ever, but I'm just trying to be, just a little more aggressive when I can instead of playing conservative all the time. So that's something that I'm working on and something that I'll definitely take here to the Pro Lates to go for a win.
Well, another great finish here in the big blocks. Who are those people and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to again?
Yeah, I was going to shout out all my guys at Venom there, Isaac, Butchie, and give a shout out to the FTM guys who are keeping this stuff broadcasted with us. And Lambton Diesel Specialist, got to thank Dean Reynolds of the Super Dirt Car Series, everyone at C2C, who am I forgetting here? Big Tim Race Wraps for these wraps. RSN Trackside. You, Travis, for doing this these broadcasts here, and hopefully we're talking to you again here in Victory Lane this time.
Sounds good, Trevor. We'll see if we can talk to you for a third time here shortly after the late models. That's Trevor Giroux, our second place finisher here in the Big Block Modifieds. And now our winner in the Big Block Modifieds, it's Isaac. You'll pick up your second podium here. Isaac, we watched you follow Trevor around there for a good portion of that race, pouncing on him there late. Walk us through your race to victory.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It was the first little bit there was just kind of patience and getting up towards the front. Even Trevor made a really good move early to get towards the front, and from there on out, I kind of knew I was going to be having to chase him and Dylan down, and luckily got a good lane choice there, and got to run the top there, and I think I got to like third or fourth or whatever it was before the caution. But yeah, after that, it was kind of pick your battles, run your lines. Was able to get right to Trevor, and then caution, brought him right back to me, and it was battle on from there. And honestly, my whole goal was to just be right up behind him and, pressure him into a mistake there. And I think I did it out of 4, where he knew I was right, kind of right below him, maybe just not all the way in line, and just kind of gassed it up a little bit too much, I think, and got the wall, and I threw a slider there, and it was kind of after that, it was kind of, slider for slider and hit your marks and, get the lead at the line there. And it was a lot of fun. Of all people to battle, I'm glad it was Trevor, for sure. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, we just talked to Trevor. Obviously, with the late models coming up next, it could come down to a battle with Trevor again for a victory. What's going to be the approach here at Lima Land to pick up another win with the late model?
Oh, man, I think it's going to be the same thing. If I can just be there to pressure him a little bit and maybe force him into a mistake, or he forces me into a mistake. We run each other very hard and very clean, and it's a teammate, it's a really good friend. So whenever you have the chance to race somebody like that, as hard as you can, and get the little bragging rights for a session or two, it really means a lot, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, it's another Thursday night Thunder victory for Isaac Salas. Isaac, who are those people and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah. Big shout out to Venom Racing tonight. Trevor and I, double podiums, got a win for one of them, so that was pretty sweet. Dean the Super Dirt Car Series, Magnum Race Designs, JRB Designs for that beautiful big block scheme. I think that one's probably my favorite. RSN Trackside, Mission 22, top notch truck with my Gramps. I know he was watching. I saw him in the chat. Shaggy TV, Regency Home Inspections, Mom for watching, Dad for watching, Gramps, obviously. All my other friends that have been kind of tuning in. Thanks to Kelser. I know she's getting off here soon. I know she's at work too, so it's pretty cool to have them cheering you on from work. And yeah, other than that, thanks to Coast and everyone that was here tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations, Isaac. We'll see if we talk to you again after this late model feature.
Awesome. Thanks, Travis.
That's Isaac Salas, your winner tonight here in the Big Block Modifieds. Of course, Big Block Modifieds presented by Atlantic Management Resources. And with that, we will take a quick break here, as when we come back, we will have the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Pro Late Models from Lima Land, as you're watching Thursday Night Thunder here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network.
it's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Gets on the champion. Trying to be a bit of a hiatus, so let's get...
Tonight we'll be talking about it.
Outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive. So having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
Welcome back to racing action here at Limaland Motorsports Park tonight as Thursday Night Thunder continues as we have the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Pro Late Models. And coming in points wise, it's Anthony Morano atop the charts. 2 wins so far this winter. Clay Christopherson in second, Trevor Giroux third, Butch Baker in fourth, and Brandon Templeton in the 5th position of the point standings. Steven Spees out here on the track, Dean Reynolds as well, John Tobias out there on the track currently as well. Anthony Morano is atop the charts. course, he swept last Thursday Night Thunder, nothing this week, so he'll look to go back-to-back with the Pro Late Models. Trevor Giroux has been the bridesmaid twice tonight, looking to pick up a victory to end his Thursday Night Thunder. So practice session continues on here. Should wrap up. We've got what could be 11 cars. See how many of them load up for us here. As our practice session will wrap up. Go on to our qualifying session here. Of course, thank you as always for tuning in here on Thursday Night Thunder. As we will have that qualifying session start up here now. Anthony Morano move out the track. Dean Reynolds going out there as well. Of course, we'll have those best times over there to the left. As they come in, Dean Reynolds in that 79 machine. There's that 75 of Trevor Giroux we talked about. Already talked to him a couple times this evening. Bob DeGood out there in the 7 machine as well. Isaac Salas atop the charts at 12:49 to get us going here. Jeff Barker 4th fastest at 12:64. Randy Shreves. He'll move up to 2nd fastest. Good time for him there. Steven Spies at the 55. Currently 7th fastest. And he will not, he will improve. He'll move up to 4th there. It's Michael Farmer, one of the final cars to make a timed lap. 9th fastest his first time. As Farmer will end up 8th fastest there as the qualifying session comes to an end. And with that, we will move on to heat race number 1. Heat race number 1 will line up like this. It's going to be Anthony Morano, row number 1, alongside Trevor Giroux. Dean Reynolds in 3rd, next to Isaac Salas. Bob DeGood in 5th, and Michael Facio in that 6th position. Of course, Morano, Giroux, and Salas, a lot of racing near each other here tonight, this Thursday Night Thunder. And that will continue here in the Pro Late Models in heat race number 1. So 2 heat races, so this will set that inside line for that 30-lap feature event. What are you waiting for, Maddie? What are you waiting for? 8 laps here in heat race number 1. You've got Morano, Reynolds there up front inside line. You've got Giroux and Salas on that outside line. Giroux will take the lead. As Giroux showing a lap behind. There we go, as it gets caught up. Scoring off a little bit there at the start of this one, but it is Giroux out front. Salas down to the inside. Morano, Dean Reynolds doing battle behind him as this is a 4-car breakaway up front. Facio in that 6th position behind him. Or I'm sorry, Bob DeGood in that 5th position behind him. Facio is off the track in 6th. As Giroux continues to use that outside line, he came in confident here with the Pro Late Models. good runs of second in the small block and the big blocks already tonight. Maddox, did you say you still have to take a shower? What are you waiting to do? Okay, and then I still so I need to take a good quick one, please, so that I can have some hot water. Trevor Giroux continues to lead up front. White flag will wave this time. By for that 75 machine. Salas in second, Reynolds third, Morano in fourth. That's how they would line up on that inside line for the feature event. Salas will have one more go at it. He will hold on to second. Trevor Giroux will win the heat race. Reynolds third, Morano fourth, Bob DeGood in fifth. As Salas gave it a go there in 3 and 4. And that will move us on to heat race number 2. It's going to line up like this. It's Michael Farmer next to Jeff Barker, Steven Spies alongside Randy Shreves, and John Dobias in the 5th position. This will set the field for that outside row. As they get lined up for 8 more laps of heat racing action, this will be the final heat race of tonight's Thursday Night Thunder. Green flag waves. We're back to racing action here with the Pro Late Models presented by Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights. Farmer will jump out front. Behind him, you've got Spies and Barker side by side for second. Shreves watching on from that 4th position. Tobias in the 3 car there, back in the 5th spot. As Farmer holding on here early in this one in that 98, as Spies will take over that 2nd position. Farmer continues to lead. He's safe out front. The real battle's behind him with Spies in 2nd, Barker in 3rd, Shreves in that 4th spot. Shreves looking to the inside of Barker for 3rd. Side by side, they're still for that 2nd position. Farmer holding on, a great performance by that 98 machine. As I say, that Spies will make a move, but they'll cross it over. Farmer will hold on as they go through 3 and 4 here, coming to the white flag. Spies will take the lead now. Now Shreves looking to move from 3rd into 2nd as he looks to the inside of Farmer down the backstretch. Out of turn number 4, though, it's going to be the 55 of Spies. He will win. Farmer 2nd, Shreves 3rd, Barker 4th, Dobias in the 5th spot. And that should end all our preliminary action for Thursday night, as we will move on to our warm-up session as we have the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Pro Late Model Division feature coming up next here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. As we will take one more final warm-up break, we will be back in less than 3 minutes here from Lima Land Motorsports Park. And we're back from Lima Land Motorsports Park here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network as we have the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Dirt Late Models next here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. 30 laps from Lima Land as Trevor Giroux will lead us to green. Steven Spies will line up beside him as we will have that starting lineup here in a moment. As they line up out here on the front stretch, we'll take a look at that starting lineup. Row number 1, it's Trevor Giroux alongside Steven Spies. Isaac Salas in third alongside Michael Farmer. Fifth will be Dean Reynolds next to Randy Shreves. Anthony Morano in 7th next to Jeff Barker. Bob DeGood in 9th next to John Tobias. And Mike Vasillo in that 11th position. So, looks like 40 laps possibly here tonight for the Pro Late Models. As they will get lined up here on the front stretch. Trevor Giroux, Isaac Salas on that inside. We've seen them do battle already tonight. 2 second place finishes for Giroux, a third and a first for Isaac Salas. Green flag will wave, and we are back to racing action here for 40 laps with the Pro Late Models. Giroux able to separate here quickly. Is some great racing action here with Dean Reynolds, Anthony Morano, and Isaac Salas. Salas, the meat in that sandwich between Morano and Spies. Spies able to hold on to that second spot as Trevor Giroux out front, liking this battle behind him. As now Dean Reynolds looks to the outside of Anthony Morano. Randy Shreves trying to follow up Dino up through the field. Anthony Morano, though, up 3 spots here early in this one. Great racing action here. Trevor Giroux continues to lead. He's got a 0.6 of a second lead here right now. That may change as now Isaac Salas trying to look to the inside of Steven Spies. They'll battle for the second position. Morano and Dean Reynolds still side by side. That's a battle for the 4th spot. Giroux continues to lead now as that battle with Morano and Dean Reynolds continues to be the tightest battle here on the track. Ooh, Isaac Salas gets out of sorts there. That'll lose his momentum. Morano will have to check up. Dean Reynolds now trying to make... Oh, right into the back of the 5 there is Isaac Salas trying to get his rhythm back up. Great battle here, middle of the pack. .15 laps down quickly here. Spies in that second spot. Isaac Salas behind him in the 3rd spot. 4th, Morano. 5th, Reynolds, Shreves in 6th. Farmer back in the pack, he's in 7th. John Tobias not far behind him there in the 8th spot. As out front, Trevor Giroux leading here from Limeland. You can see the space between the cars here in this one, 24 laps to go. We're getting closer and closer to that halfway mark. So you can see that outside line. Spees moved down a little bit there to try to find something. Unable to do so, as we'll ride along with Isaac Salas. He's trying to close in on Spees for that 2nd spot. He'll look down to the inside here. Great battle. Morano right behind him in 4th. But out front, it's still Trevor Giroux leading this one. Start to halfway here now, as we're coming to 20 laps to go. As there's the cross sticks halfway here. Steven Spees still holding on to that 2nd spot, as Isaac Salas, though, has some momentum there on that outside line. He'll continue to chip away there. Behind them, Morano and Dean Reynolds. Randy Shreves doing battle. That's your top 6. Giroux continues to lead. Oh, as the Bob the Good machine will bring out the caution. It was right in front of our leader, Bob the Good, into the wall. That will bring out the caution with 16 laps to go. So we'll get it sorted out here, line them back up. So double file restart here with 16 laps to go. It's Trevor Giroux. He's going to have Isaac Salas to his outside. The battle between these two will now continue. Green flag waves. Trevor Giroux jump out front with that control car position he had. Salas right behind him. Morano up in that lane as well. Steven Spees continues to work that middle line. Trevor Giroux starting to stretch back out ever so slightly. Isaac Salas trying to stay in tow. As Spees down to that inside, that outside line has the momentum, as now Anthony Morano will move into 3rd and move around Spees. Lucky number 13 laps to go this time by. It's still Trevor Giroux out front, as he's got Isaac Salas trying to chase him down. You can see how close that battle is now up front down the backstretch. Continues to try to make a move on Trevor Giroux. We've already seen him do it once in the big block modifieds tonight. We'll see what he has in store as we're coming to 10 laps to go. Front 5 all up on that outside line. Shreves in 6th, as Spees has finally moved up into that outside line after falling back to 5th. Isaac Salas still within striking distance. As now Morano will look to the inside of Isaac Salas. He will take over to that second spot, at least on the entrance to turn number 3. He'll slide up across the nose on the exit of turn number 4 as Isaac Salas will cross him over. 6 laps to go, and they're getting racy for the second position. Salas into the wall. That'll slow down his momentum. Anthony Morano able to move into second. Dean Reynolds up to third as Isaac Salas trying to move back up now. Trevor Giroux loving this behind him as this is letting him now put a second between him and the Morano car of the 32. Coming to 3 laps to go this next time by. Morano in second. Dean Reynolds continues to hold off Salas for that third spot. 2 laps to go now this time by. Morano still in second. Dean Reynolds now looking for a move to the second spot. Isaac Salas down to the inside. He's looking for another podium. This 3-car battle here is it's going to be Trevor Giroux for the white flag out front. Dean Reynolds holding on to third. Isaac Salas to his inside, Morano to his outside. It's going to be Trevor Giroux out front. He's going to be your winner in the Pro Late Models. It's Morano at the line over Dean Reynolds. And that will be your podium. Isaac Salas in 4th. Randy Shreves in 5th. So a great finish to our Thursday Night Thunder here for the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights Pro Late Models. As we will throw up those final results here for the late models. We, of course, will talk to those top 3 finishers here in a moment. And we will kick it off with our third place finisher. It's Dean Reynolds. Dean, it got heated there for that second position. Walk us through that battle with Anthony and Isaac.
Well, I kind of got lucky in finding that, that lane there. Isaac got a little bit crossed up, or Anthony got crossed up. I can't remember which one. And I decided I had to go to the middle because I was going to, wind up hitting him in the tail going down the straightaway, and it stuck. And I said, you know what? Let's give her hell and. Let's give it a shot.
Well, you got right in that hornet's nest those last half dozen laps with those two. Having Anthony up ahead, he's trying to track down Trevor, and then you have Isaac behind you. Obviously, he was the one that got crossed up, probably frustrated after he fell back to the 4th spot, doing everything he could do to get back by you. What's going through your mind as you're in the middle of all that, as you're all trying to race to a podium finish?
Not to get into Anthony. I had to kind of do a little bit of a slider and slide up because there was a little bit of tack in the middle coming off, but I had to get to that. And the only way to really get to that aggressively is to do a slider, but you have to stop the slider because Anthony is on the top and so is Trevor. So you got to give him a lane. You got to show the respect. I know it was tight there, but I don't think we ever touched. And, that was all I was trying to do. And then trying to stay smooth coming off so I don't get wheel spin. So maybe I can edge Anthony, but, it didn't quite happen. But hey, I'll take the third. I'll tell you what, with 1 yellow and as tight as it was up front like that, that was some of the most fun I've had in my racing in the last couple of weeks. I've had a rough couple of weeks, so it's good to have a good race.
No, it was a great battle, and like you said, great. It was a great battle of competitiveness with no contact and everyone given enough room, but also racing as tough as you guys were. Who are those sponsors and those people you want to give a shout out to for a third place finish?
Well, and first of all, I got to thank you. For Travis, for you coming on. And I know you do the late models, but I know Shaggy's a little under the weather, so you did all 3. I was going to blame you for being the bad luck because I didn't finish the first 2 races, but
hey, now
we'll let you slide now. So I got to thank the guys from Full Throttle Motorsports. They've been helping out this old guy quite a bit lately, and hopefully we'll show the speed that they're helping. I just haven't had any luck, but you get that in iRacing. It's part of the deal. Got to thank who's the sponsor of the late models?
Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights.
Yes, Dirt Track Break Friday Night Lights, and I'll be running that tomorrow night as well, and have some fun. One of my few Fridays I'm actually home, so I'm looking forward to that. And thanks to them, because if it wasn't for them, they you wouldn't be here doing the telecast. And it's fun to have pro late models back on the Thursday nights. It gives us full fender guys. Well, I'm not a full fender guy, modified or open wheels, but you know what I mean. Cars with roofs and doors. We can go have fun to do it again, and just congratulations to Anthony and Trevor for a great race, and Isaac for all racing us clean.
Well, congratulations on that run tonight, Dean. It was a lot of fun watching you guys do battle there at the end.
Thanks, Travis. You take care, man.
That's Dean Reynolds, our third place finisher tonight. And now coming home in second is Anthony Morano. He was able to win last week. He will come home second. Anthony, walk us through that battle there you had with Dean and Isaac on your way to a second place finish.
Man, I hope that was fun to watch, because it sure as hell was a blast to drive through that. That was a great time there. A lot of different moves being used, different lanes. I'm pretty sure all three of us could put the car in where we wanted. And Shreves was in there. He was trying to get the bottom to work in 3 and 4 there, or not Shreves, Steven Spies. And the middle and bottom and 3 and 4 really weren't there. You had to be up top. But 1 and 2 was good. So you had to kind of try to make sure you had windows to move around going down the backstretch to get where you needed to be. So that was a little bit tricky, but yeah, man, that was a lot of fun there running with those two guys.
Well, you guys went from really being nose to tail, closing in on Trevor up ahead. When Isaac got crossed up there, it turned into that 3-car battle for second. Obviously, had a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun to watch. But what does it do for you when you go from being so close to be able to pounce on a second or a first place to then all of a sudden being the defender of the second place?
Yeah, things changed pretty quick there. Kind of looked like Isaac might have gotten a wall a little bit, and then I was trying to cut underneath him, and I saw Dean down there, and I was like trying not to cut Dean off, trying not to spin Isaac. And once I finally got through there, I'm like, okay, now what's going on next? I'm watching my relatives with Trevor, and I'm like, okay, I'm not really gaining, I'm not really losing. Then I looked further down, and I saw, it was Dean, Isaac, Speeves, and I think Shreves was right there with us. So there was a lot going on, and I just pretty much abandoned the bottom and just stayed up high and in the middle to make sure if anyone was going to get by me, it'd be by a big haymaker slider and to have a cut down line. So figured that'd be my best bet for getting it home here up on the podium and being able to talk to you for a little bit.
Well, it was a great night of racing. A lot of fun to watch you tonight, Anthony. Who are those folks you want to give a shout out to tonight?
I think my wife Sherry, the boys over at FTM, Dean and Super Car, Logan at How Lens, Gunnar at Swan Speed Shop, DJ Simsop, Expert Installation, Castaway Flagstone, MDI TV, GripHack.com, Bowman's Designs, Melbourne Bank, and Dirt Track Bank for sponsoring the division. Travis, for you coming out and broadcasting all night for us, covering up for Shaggy. I know he's a little under the weather. Hopefully you feel better, buddy. And everyone here at Coast to Coast.
Well, great run, Anthony. We look forward to seeing you again next Thursday on Thursday Night Thunder.
Sir, thanks a lot.
That's Anthony Morano, second place finisher tonight. And from Victory Lane, it's Trevor Giroux. We talked to you after the big blocks, Trevor, and you were confident here for the late model. Walk us through those 40 laps out front.
Man, it was interesting. The track was quite interesting. I mean, during warm-ups, I thought it was going to be like towards the bottom, and then for the first 10 laps or so of the feature, I was kind of running the middle. I was like, okay, this might be where the track's going to stay, and then I just decided to run the top for a couple laps, and then I look at my relative there, and I'm pulling away. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna stay here for the rest of the race. And then got in that little scuffle with Bob there. Just obviously didn't want to wreck him. I mean, there is an explanation. It's just a racing deal. I mean, he kind of he went to let off to let me by, and then the car just shot up, and then I went underneath of him and just pushed him up. I mean, like I said, I didn't want to wreck him at all. I just, as the leader, I'm trying to get going. I definitely meant, I'll be honest, I meant to kind of just, shove him up a little bit to get going, but I definitely didn't want to wreck him and ruin his race. So I apologize to Bob for that. Other than that, though, I mean, I came into this race, I did what I wanted to do. So I'm happy with that.
Well, you had that restart there with about 16 laps to go. Isaac was able to close up on you and looked like he was going to have a move similar to the big block modifieds. When he gets crossed up and you all of a sudden have a gap behind you, does that give you at least a moment to maybe take a deep breath and breathe a little?
Absolutely. It's yeah, when Isaac got behind me, I was like, okay, crap. He's definitely gonna throw a slider, and then he was just kind of content with running the top there behind me, and then I messed up a little bit, and it messed him up, and it kind of paid off for me. So apologize to him for that, but it's especially after a caution, and then you have a 2-lap breather, and then you get going again. I just get out of my rhythm real bad. So yeah, I kind of messed up there, and it messed him up, and he fell back to 4th. But I think we definitely had another 1 and 2 in us tonight.
Well, we talked about it after the big blocks, and you were confident coming in here the late model, and you were able to put your money where your mouth was there and pick up the victory. Who are those folks and those sponsors you want to give a shout out to for the late model tonight?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I love these things in real life. I grew up around these cars, and it's just I have a lot of laps in these things. So proud of the runs tonight. 2 seconds in a first, and of course to my teammate there, Isaac and Butch too. Some great runs. So yeah, just got to thank all them guys, everybody, every single person that's part of Venom Racing. Couldn't do this stuff without you guys. Give a shout out to FTM there on a 2nd and 3rd. I've been racing with Anthony Morano there for a long time, long time. Well before I ever even knew about Coast to Coast. So that's a good friend of mine there. Props to him. And Dean Reynolds is a sponsor. So shout out to Dean at the Super Dirt Car Series. Shout out to Lambton Diesel Specialist, Artisan Trackside, Big Tim Race Wraps. Everybody at Coast to Coast that puts this stuff on for us. I actually don't know who the sponsor is for the late models. Who is it?
Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, shout out to them, Dirt Track Bank, Friday Night Lights. Shout out to them guys for giving us broadcasts and keeping this stuff going for us. Big shout out to them. Wish we had a little bit more bigger car count here, but every time I race these things, it's a fierce field either way. Even if we have 5 guys in here, it's 5 really good drivers. So yeah, looking forward to next week, and of course, thank you, Travis, for keeping this stuff broadcasted. I really like going back and watching my races. So thank you.
Well, great run tonight, Trevor. It was nice talking to you, and we'll see you again next Thursday.
Thanks, Travis. Take care.
That's Trevor Giroux, your winner tonight in the Pro Late Models, and that will wind up our night here for Thursday Night Thunder. Of course, thanks to all our sponsors here for Thursday Night Thunder here at the Coast to Coast Racing League. Of course, it's FTM and Venom Racing for the small block modifieds, Atlantic Management Resources for the big block modifieds, and then the Dirt Track Bank Friday Night Lights here for the Pro Late Models. As always, I'm Travis Pearsall with Extreme E Speed TV. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you at a racetrack soon.